These are the three biggest opportunities I'm seeing in today's housing market, and this is as we come out of a recession. Now, there's probably a lot more than three, but let me just explain it to you this way. I have not seen these opportunities in over 10 years. Now, I've been a licensed real estate agent for over 25 years, and these opportunities that we're seeing probably won't repeat themselves until another cycle of the housing market, which is typically about a 10-year time frame. Now, it might not be the right time for you to buy a home, but you can look at the opportunities and all the programs that might be available. It could be a viable choice, but at least keep your eye on them so that way you can track and go ahead and see where you can seize an opportunity. On top of that, if you are considering buying a home, I set up a super easy way that if you'd just like to have a consultation, you can visit callsteve.net, and I'm happy to talk to you personally about any of these three options. Now, the first and most important thing is that right now we have motivated sellers. Well, what does that mean, Steve? People that have their homes on the market right now are interested in selling them. Now, the prices have fluctuated, meaning that they have come off from their all-time highs over the last 2 years, but the market has shifted roughly 10% total off of those high numbers. The thing about it is, people that have their home on the market right now are interested in selling it. They are motivated to sell their homes. The price can fluctuate, and that's the key. Some people are still listing their homes and they have been on the market for some time. Some people that list their homes, they're already motivated with the asking price that they've put it on the market for. So it just depends on your marketplace and what type of opportunity you're looking to seize. But the biggest thing that we're seeing is that homes that are actively on the market, sellers are super motivated and they are interested in working with buyers. The second thing that I think is super unique, because we haven't seen this in the past couple years, is that we're getting seller concessions for our clients. And we're seeing seller concessions range all over the board. What do I mean by that? Well, normally you couldn't get a seller to pay for a buyer's closing costs. That was very difficult to do in a contract over the last couple years. We couldn't get seller credit built into a contract for the benefit of a buyer. So the buyer was having to pay not only their down payment, but they also had to pay all their closing costs. And most closing costs are, around $10,000 depending on the purchase price. But what we're even seeing now is because of certain loan programs and how motivated sellers are, we're actually seeing sellers pay to reduce the interest rate that a buyer's gonna have for the first years of their loan. These programs are very, very specific and they have to be paid by the seller. And these amounts up to almost 2%, 2.25% of the purchase price. So you can do the math on that. That's quite a bit of money that a seller is motivated so much so that they're willing to spend thousands of dollars to entice a buyer to go ahead and come in and purchase their home. These are fantastic opportunities for buyers in this marketplace. And what's so neat is the opportunities that exist can truly be seized by anyone. First-time home buyers, repeat home buyers, move-up home buyers. Even if you have no money down, there are special programs for that in this marketplace. And I think that's what's so critical, because we're getting to a point that actually home ownership and mortgage payments are cheaper than what rent is going to be, because rent is a constant variable. It is always going to go up, and that has predominantly been statistically proven that rent is going up no matter what happens. Mortgage rates, however, when you close escrow on a home, that mortgage is the same that it's going to be for the next 30 years. Unless you have a special program, maybe you have an enticing rate that gets you in earlier for, let's say, a 1 or 2 year time frame, and then it steps up from there. But you know what that mortgage is going to be in that final term as it goes out all the way to 30 years. So it's a fantastic opportunity to go ahead and look at. Possibly you could afford a home. The next thing is home affordability. That's an interesting thing, because most buyers think that they can't afford a home, but you have to understand, banks look at real estate completely different than anything else that you buy. So reach out right down below. If you want to have a consultation, callsteve.net. Feel free to go ahead and log a phone call with me, and I'm happy to discuss all your options. Now, before we get into the last one, you have to understand, we have motivated sellers and we go in and we have concessions that are being provided. But here's the real opportunity exists. The third and most opportunistic thing is that you're probably going to get a better home. Why is that? Well, because the shift in the market, homes have had to decrease value to be able to get them sold. Comparables in the marketplace support what's going on, and those comparables average out to be less than a 90-day time frame because the market has shifted. So the basics of it is that you're going to be able to get a better home for less value when you initially purchase your home. So it's a fantastic time. What I mean by that, I just had a client go ahead and purchase a home and close escrow on it. This same home would have cost this client $150,000 more just over a year ago. So you have to see that the opportunity of timing right now, you're going to get a better home, probably in a better location with a more opportunistic situation for a buyer than there has ever been in this marketplace. So again, if you need a consultation or you want to discuss further any of these details, right down below, I have a link. Go ahead and reach out to me at callsteve.net. I'm happy to discuss anything with you personally. And if you're a home buyer in this marketplace, here's the thing. If you're writing offers on a property, there's a high probability you're going to get your offer accepted if it's reasonable and in the, let's say, parameters of a seller, because sellers are really motivated to work with buyers right now in this marketplace. Truly an opportunistic time. If you have any questions regarding this marketplace, feel free to reach out anytime or go ahead and book an appointment with me right down below.